was probably 19 when I went to Guatemala. I was gonna say for the first time, but that's the only time I've gone to Guatemala. And we went to this lake. I'll put the name here because I don't remember the name. And it was so beautiful and very serene, very still. The place we were living at was right by the water, and it was super cool. I remember this deck was really nice, and you could just like sit there and see the reflection of the mountains and the water. We were only there for about a couple of days, I think. Maybe only even one day, don't really remember. But I brought my camera and actually took quite a lot of photos on that trip. I can probably insert some of them here. We went on this boat trip to this other island where we did a little hike, if I believe, and they stick to their traditions with their clothing and the way they created them and stuff like that. I'm pretty sure they had their own language as well that they spoke. They didn't only speak Spanish. And we met these three girls just randomly on our walk up from the boat, and they were going downwards, and we just asked them for a photo, and they're happy to be taken a photo of. I stumbled upon it just a couple of weeks ago, and I was like, oh, actually I really like this one, and that's the inspiration for this illustration that I'm creating right here. The thing that I really liked about that was we went to these pyramids as well. Like, we'd already been to Mexico at that point and seen the pyramids of Chichen Itza, and that's like one of the 7 wonders of the world, etc., etc. And then we went to these other Mayan pyramids in Guatemala, and they were so amazing because they were so serene, and they were in the middle of nowhere. They weren't like huge attractions, you know, it wasn't a huge attraction. That was the thing. And there weren't like so many people there. There were pyramids, in my opinion, just as beautiful and grand as Chichen Itza, but they were more covered. They weren't as excavated. They weren't as excavated as the ones in Mexico, but it was super cool. And just like walking through the jungle and the guide telling us about it, barely seeing any other people there, that was very special, I feel like. And I'm a nerd when it comes to ancient civilizations, love that kind of stuff, love learning about it, love the mystery and all of it. I think it's such a cool topic, and I think it's always interesting learning about how other civilizations were living, and I feel like we still have so many things to learn about it. So yeah, that was really interesting for me, seeing old ruins. That's a lot of fun. And we were able to climb these pyramids as well. But I'm scared of heights. I am not scared of heights when it comes to jumping out of an airplane, for example. I did that when I was in Mexico, and I very much enjoyed that. But when it comes to me responsible for my own life and me knowing I can be clumsy, that's another story. So for me, these very tall steps and very steep steps up the pyramids, they did scare me. So I was on my all fours every single time, going up, going down, every time I was on my fours, climbing, while everybody else were just like walking normally, and it's crazy. Here's a view of the pyramids and how you can just see from one to another over the jungle, which is just incredible. I got reminded of that just by seeing all of the photos I took, and I will share that as well. We went to this volcano as well. I'm pretty sure that one is also in Guatemala. This was almost 10 years ago, so pardon my memory, but at the same time my memory is not the best to begin with. That's why I'm very happy I take a lot of photos, so I can remember it all. The meaning of all this is that the women that we met on the way there, those are my biggest inspiration for this illustration. What I usually like to do is to look at different references, so that I don't only use one reference, then I start to sketch it out according to how I would like it to look like in my particular style. Using the pencil, I usually just use the basic Procreate pencil, and then in black. Sometimes I can use another color as well, to be fair, but yeah, usually I do sketch in black. And then, yeah, just find my reference photos. For this one, the last one I did was illustration based on the Samburu people in Kenya, and that one had a lot of details regarding the jewelry, a lot of beads, and that was very beautiful. With these ones, it's going to be more the texture of the clothing, so the fabrics and the patterns on the clothing, that's what's going to stand out the most. So I'm looking forward to doing something different. And then this is us visiting a place where they created real tacos. Not the kind of tacos we have here, not Tex-Mex, but real tacos. So amazing looking back at these photos, and wow, so many memories. Things you had forgotten you had seen. And just the fact that it's captured in a moment like that is absolutely beautiful. And I have these memories forever. Later, when the sun had set and it was all dark around us, the only thing lighting up the place was the light next to our bedrooms. It was next to the garden by the lake, and we could see the stars glistening out there in the dark. And when we were out there listening to music and having a chat, our Mexican Spanish teacher that had been our guide for this trip showed us how to dance bachata.